it is me, Savana Sharp. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for you guys today in this video where I'm just gonna be talking about my journey through the stage, how I got into competing, and kind of my fitness goals, journeys, tips. So we are obviously not in my YouTube studio. I'm chilling on my couch today because we're gonna have a conversation, so I want to be comfortable. We're not in the studio. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about my fitness journey. My fitness journey started in 2017. I did Midway USA Championships, which in Wichita, Kansas, held at the Cotillion, and I had such a good time. This was where my journey started. I'm not trying to get emotional, but I do want to talk to you guys just about life things that led to ultimately going on to the stage. So I have no idea really how bikini bodybuilding became my saving grace. It literally gave me a focus for all of my energy, my life. I'm super passionate about it. Obviously, if you follow me on Instagram or if you're watching my videos, I hope you can tell through my videos that I love fitness and I love bikini bodybuilding. And so it's great that I found it, but I seriously don't know how I found it. I'm glad I did. But anyway, so I got into competing after something terrible happened to me and my family, and it's something I don't talk about a lot. It's really hard for me to talk about it still, so I don't talk about it. A lot of times when people ask me Sav, why'd you get into competing? I just tell them, oh, my mom's friend was a competitor and I saw her pictures and I just wanted to do it and have something after college that was competitive because I did sports and I needed something to drive me. That is the basic answer that normally I give everyone, just because it's easier to explain and it's more positive than saying why I actually got into it. So the first time I'd ever been introduced to bikini bodybuilding, I was working at a restaurant, and one of the other servers I was there with, she was a bikini bodybuilder, and I just saw her progressively getting leaner and leaner and leaner, and we were kind of what is going on? She looks fantastic, but what is she doing? She's a bikini bodybuilder, but she was this small little twig and just was getting so lean, and everyone that I worked with was just kind of confused, you're not gonna get super big, stereotypical things that most people say to bodybuilders all the time, right? And so I was kind of oh, that's cool. So what do you do? Just was ask her questions at work just to pass the time. And she's yeah, I just get on a stage in a bikini. And she said it was bikini bodybuilding. I'm oh, so you're on stage in a bikini and clear stripper heels, and you go around and you just do you dance, or what are you doing? It sounds like you're a stripper. And in my head, I was I would never do that. I am not confident enough to do that. I had such bad stage fright at that time, not confident at all. Super terrible posture where I'd always kind of be into my just shoulders, kind of, keep to yourself, just super quiet. I'm not very introverted in general. I've never been, or extroverted. I've always been an introvert. I'm never someone that's gonna jump into a conversation and be hey, how's it going? I'm more of leave me alone, and if you want to talk to me, sure, but this is so uncomfortable, I don't know what to say. But anyway, she brought in her suit. She brought in her suit because she was gonna sell it while she was at work. Someone was gonna come meet her, and when I saw this suit, I was mind blown by how sparkly. It was an Angel Competition bikini suit, which is funny enough, that is who I use as my suit person every single time. Use code SavannahS, shameless plug, 10% off, and I'll leave that discount in the bio. But yeah, it was this blue turquoise green color, and it was just so shiny, and I'm just she opened up this bag and these sparkles just emerged out, and I just my eyes lit up, and it was so pretty. I'm you wear this on stage? And so that was the first time I had ever been introduced to it, and I followed her journey. I watched her stage pics, I watched her videos on the stage, and I got to see her body transformation over 12 weeks or so, and I was just surprised how she was transforming her body. And then my mom's friend, who had been a masters competitor, she worked with a coach that was local to my gym, and I saw a picture of her, and she looked incredible. I'm gonna see if I can find these pictures and hopefully be able to throw them up for you guys. She looked literally so incredible, and I'm like, this girl's had like 4 kids. Like, she looked so good, like abs good, booty good, glutes good, arms were toned, on stage just like killing it. And so that was the first time I'd ever seen like these bodies. And then I started kind of getting interested. So on Instagram, I'm just following, and this is before anything and everything had happened in my life. I was just kind of like thinking about it, like, oh, that would be really cool. Like, that'd be really cool if I could do that. Like, I'm really expected that. That's not me. That's not me. That's too much. Like, I wouldn't be able to do, but I really like how they look. Like, these girls look really cool. I really like that. And then life happens and puts you kind of on your path, like on your destiny. And I truly don't think everything happens for a reason. I think sometimes it does. I think sometimes everything happens for a reason. I don't know if it's part of your destiny. I don't know if it's like part of some plan, but sometimes I think life is just random and it sucks. I don't think this had to happen for this stuff to happen. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But this is kind of like my actual reason for why I got into bikini bodybuilding. So hard for me to talk about. It's like very hard for me to like spit this out because it's really hard to say it. Again, like I said, like I don't talk about this, but yeah, so this is really hard. I didn't expect it to be this hard or get emotional today, but yeah, so my younger brother committed suicide, and that's kind of like when my whole life changed. It did. It's very hard for me to talk about, and I don't like to because it's still like very close to my heart. So I'm doing my best just because I don't want it to be like it's not a sad story. Like it's very upsetting, and it's still something that me and my family deal with, but I don't ever want to be stuck in the past and be upset and sad all the time, just because I understand like life is so short, and we are just blessed every single day to get to live and be alive and be healthy enough to work out. So yeah, but that is definitely when my life changed and my mindset completely, literally changed. I did some soul searching. I was very, not depressed, but just grieving hard. I'm not a depressed person. I'm not a sad person. I'm not someone who, like, very motivated. I don't get upset, sad. I don't let things affect me very much, but that was very hard being like 20 when it happened. So that was 3 years ago. It was really hard, and I was in the middle of college and just kind of like not know where my career was gonna go. Just broke my family. Just sucked, and it still sucks. But this idea, I had just time to think about life, and I think being so close to like death really makes you appreciate life. So I had this idea. I just was like, you know what? Nothing else matters besides your health. Like, what do we have? Oops. What do we have? What do we have besides our health and our mental health? And I just knew that I had some unhealthy habits that I needed to change myself. And I had never really done anything for myself. Like, school came very easy to me. I was a straight A student, so school wasn't hard. I was smart. I had a job. I had money saved. Like, I was in college. I think it was like my junior year when it happened. And yeah, like I was well off. Like, I didn't have anything. I just felt like everything in my life had been like given to me, or just like very easy. And I hadn't ever experienced what it was like to like struggle or work hard for something and say it's my own. Like, I was in volleyball and I had, accomplished through there, but I just really didn't have anything. Like, I did sports growing up through high school. I did volleyball and softball, but after high school and college, like, I didn't have anything. I just had a job just went to school, and that was really it. Like, I'd work out every once in a while, but I didn't seriously like take fitness serious at all. I didn't take my health serious at all, and I knew if I ever wanted to have kids one day, I wanted to be alive for a very long time. And I knew that I need to have my mental health on point too, just because I was grieving so hard. And I wanted to be an advocate for suicide, just kind of like sharing my experience. And I knew that fitness was the platform for health, like mental health. And I had really felt like going on this journey, I was gonna be able to find myself. And it just, I thought I wanted to be stronger for those who couldn't be, like my brother. And if I could physically be strong, I thought it would be like, it'd translate to mental. So I found a trainer. So I found my trainer through my mom's friend, and they became my trainer. And all I had, my mindset was one show. I had no idea what a pro athlete, what a nationals was. I had no idea anything besides I wanted to do one show and win one show, to say that I could like literally have a goal, set it, do, and just kind of show myself I can do anything I put my mind to. And it was bikini bodybuilding. It just happened to be what I had hyper focused everything. I kind of put my grief to the side and started just to get hyper focused on prep, and it changed everything for me. I started meal prepping. In the first 4 weeks that I went on a prep, I lost 10 pounds, and I guess it was just mostly body or water weight, but my body was happy. Started drinking a gallon a day. It's more water than I had ever thought possible was to consume. Started learning what macros were, meal prepped every single week, and was on my diet 100%. Didn't have alcohol. I was just like, my body was like so happy. And mentally, like I was so happy and ready to be a part of this journey. And so many people were like rooting for me, and just, I just was like so like lost that I needed a focus, and that was bikini bodybuilding for me. Getting yourself in a routine, so I liked it because I didn't want to drink anymore, because when I would drink, I'd get sad. I don't know why, but when I would be drinking, I would get super, super sad and like depressed, and like those feelings of what had happened would just like come back, and I would cry. And I didn't want to drink anymore. So bikini bodybuilding was an excuse not to go out, not to party, not to have to drink, not to have to eat bad food, because like eating bad food made me feel bad about myself, feeling bad about myself, and I never wanted to let myself get depressed to the point where I like myself would consider suicide, like ever. I've never ever been suicidal, but I just knew certain things didn't make me feel good, and I didn't want to do those anymore. So I kind of like isolated myself from friends and family, like most people do at the beginning of prep. Just didn't drink, didn't eat, didn't go out, just kind of worked out and just got into the gym. Started following people on Instagram, learned everything I could on Instagram, followed pros like Ashley, Casey, there's so many pros that I followed in like 2017 who are up and coming, like Olympians, all from there. Just started following them and just seeing like, I absolutely love how these women look. They look like Greek goddesses, but they're in like real life. Like, this is crazy. And then I started to see progressive changes where I'm like, shit, like I could actually do really well in this sport. But it wasn't until after my first show that I got hooked for real. I really had no idea. I was going in blind to my first show. So my first show, like I said, 2017, I did Midway USA Championships in Wichita, Kansas, and I got first call outs, and I got first in novice class D and first in open. So I got nationally qualified on my first show, which is super atypical. And I just remember like prepping for the show. It was hard, but nothing was harder than like losing someone. So as hard as prep ever got, it was never bad. Like, it can't be. Like, I just had the hardest time and grief of my life. Going on a diet and exercising is never ever going to be harder than what it's like to lose someone. And that's just the reality. So that's like, seriously, I knew I wasn't even doing it for myself at that point. I was trying to like motivate and inspire others to fix your mental health through fitness. And I just wanted to be this positive, inspirational person that yes, you can do it, you can change your life, feel better, you're not alone, just everything. That's what I wanted to do for this prep. Like, it was so much more than just like a trophy. It was so much more than that. It was like, this is like me. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, this is just how, I don't know, like me becoming the person I was meant to be. Like, that's what the prep felt like. It was like when I stepped on stage, like I felt at home. Something felt right. It like clicked in my brain. It's seriously, it's hard to explain it until you've been on the stage, but some switch flipped. Like you feel it. Like when I was on stage for the first time, I felt some chemical reaction go on my brain. It was probably the adrenaline and excitement, but something like flipped in my brain. And I seriously, when I stepped on stage, I kind of blacked out for the first time because I literally had no idea, but I had put so much hard work in it and just like hours and hours and hours in the gym. The second I stepped off stage, like I want to keep doing that. Like, I never want to stop doing that. That was the best feeling in the world. I'm not done. I'm not done. But then after, I had no anticipation of getting first. Okay. So first show I was like, my goal was to get first. My goal the entire time, the entire show, I had looked up manifesting and I had been writing in my journal every day, get first place. I will get first place. I will get first place. Just kept like saying those kind of things over, and I studied the entire show. I went and watched footage from the years past. I looked and I knew exactly what the stage was gonna look like. I had contacted pros and asked them for posing advice. I'd watch all the pros' routine and I just made my own routine that just looked similar to theirs. I brought sassiness on stage, confident on stage. I picked the most popular color that pros wear. I went with blue because I knew that the contrasting on the orange. I had everything like planned out to a T. I knew I was going to do straight hair, or I was going to do curly hair, not straight hair because curly normally wins. And I had like every detail booked in my head. I just kept remembering, like, I just want to get first. I want to get first. I want to get first. And finally, like, it happened, but it wasn't supposed to happen. On my first show, I was small. I was teeny tiny, just like lean, like no muscles, just like teeny little Sav right here. And yeah, there was a girl next to me who way bigger muscles, way more conditions, should have gotten first. But the judges saw something in me and they felt that energy and vibes, and I just was like, just new to the sport. And they had originally had me in the center, so obviously if you're in the center, you're going to get first place, but they had switched me and this girl, and I had left prejudging in like the second or third place. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting second or third, yay, everything's so cool, blah, blah, blah. And we go back to finals, and I was super nervous, but you know, the hard work's already been done. Like, the judges had already made their decision, just had to go on stage and either collect a second or third place win. Like, in my head, there was no way I was getting first, like none. So I just went, I had some wine, I had a shot of whiskey, I had a tequila shot, and I went on stage, and I just literally was like, look at me, judges, this is me, watch out world, I love this, like I'm so excited for an off season, like, ooh, I'm so excited. And lo and behold, they're calling out 5th place, not my number. 4th place, not my number. 3rd place, I'm like, all right, it's my time. Wasn't my number. And that's when in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I got second in my first show. Holy shit, this is amazing. I'm so excited. And then there's a long pause between me and this next girl, and I literally forgot what my number was. I could not tell you what it was, but I looked down. I was like, okay, here's your number. If they call this number, you are in second. If they don't call it, and then you get first. Okay, get ready for second. Here we go. When they call your number, you gotta walk up to the front, don't trip. Okay, just smiling, just holding your pose, right? I'm like, okay, what did we get? Good, let's go. And then they didn't call my number, and it clicked in my head. I was like, wait, I looked down, I was like, oh shit, they didn't call my number. I just got first. I think I got first. And I was like looking around like, oh shit, there's no one else. I just got first on my first show. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is freaking crazy. So then they called me and I got first in novice, and I didn't think I was gonna get, like, I didn't know how it works. So I didn't know how open was gonna go, because it was pretty much the same girls were competing in novice and open. So then I got off stage and like the adrenaline's so high, had first place, blah, blah, blah. But it was just for novice. And I was like ready to go home and like celebrate, like first place novice, woo, here we go. And then they pull us back on stage for open, but I had to go backstage and wait until the rest of the classes were done. And then they were gonna put open up. But I like saw my coach and was like, oh my God, I was like almost in tears, like I just got first. I had to like give him my medal, and he's like, you're probably gonna get first for open, like be prepared. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, you just like beat out the same girls that were in open, like you're most likely gonna get like first place for open, so like just be ready. And I'm like, what? Like, how does that even work? And then they call out open, and again, it's down to me and the same girl, because it was the exact same like competitor, pretty much the exact same competitors, and my name got called for open, which I was shocked, because that meant I was nationally qualified in my first show. I still have not done a national show, so just because you're nationally qualified does not mean you're nationally ready. Just keep that in mind. But after that show, it just was the best experience I could have ever had. Again, a lot of people don't see success really early on in their competitive career, but like I happen to. It's kind of bit me in the ass, because I got a taste of winning, and I've just been chasing and hungry for that first place win again. I was very naive in the beginning. I thought that I needed like 3 months and I was ready to go for an overall. And the next show that I decided to do was going to be a bigger show. So I wanted to go to the East Coast to kind of like see how I would measure up against other competitors. So I went to my next show, which was going to be, so I competed in May 2017. My next show was going to be in December of 2017, and it was a holiday classic, so NPC Holiday Classic in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I wanted to have a vacation, so I planned so my family could have a vacation and go to Florida during the winter time, and I could compete too. So I took a very, very small off season. We think we were even in off season for like 2 or 3 months before I started prepping again. And I legitimately thought in my head I was gonna look like a pro when I stepped on the next stage, because I just thought that's how fast muscle develops. Was like not the case. So the second time I get on stage, I'm in Florida. It's a huge show, and my anxiety was through the roof for this show. There were so many competitors. There was, I think on midway, there was 15 of us in Class D, and there was only 4 classes. And going to this show, there was like A through H, and there was about like 40 of us in each class. Like it was equivalent to like a national level show. It's huge. And I remember waiting in line to check in, and there was just, I was waiting in line for like an hour, and I was like, had such bad anxiety, and I kept seeing these girls that were just huge, like huge, like cut, lean, veins, and I'm just like this little fitness girl that just started her journey, that barely had shoulder caps and barely had abs, like just was like lean. And I thought, you know, I'm looking hot, I'm the shit, I just got first, like fuck all y'all, I'm coming for the overall. That's how it works. You get first, and then you get overall, and then you go to the national stage and you get pro. I just literally thought that was how my journey was supposed to go, and that is like not the case ever. It like never happens like that. So in my head, I was gonna get the overall at that show, then I was gonna go step on the national stage and get pro, and then just like be an Olympian. Like I'm pretty sure that's literally how I thought it would work. Like I don't know what was going on in my head, but I thought it was gonna be an easy ride to the top. It wasn't. Reality check. So I switched my suit color. I did a red suit color instead of a blue suit color because it was a holiday classic, which I really liked, but it didn't really work with my skin tone just because of the tan was kind of orange and the suit was kind of red, so I didn't really think that was the best color on me. Did a different pose, did a front pose that was not like the side S pose. I did kind of like the A pose where you're like to the side. Didn't look very good on me. Yeah, my makeup looked really good though. I really liked my makeup, and the girls were just, it was just better competition. So they totally beat me out. I did novice and open, and I think I got second, and then in open I didn't even place. I got second callouts in like 7th or 8th place. But getting second callouts sucked. Suck. And it was just like a slap in the face of like, you need to build. So I stayed after, and I got feedback from the judges, and they're like, you just need to get bigger. Like, you need bigger shoulders, you need to come in leaner, you're not conditioned enough, you need to have better abs, you need to have better glutes, like pretty much everything, you just need to grow, come in leaner, take some time off. So I was like, okay, time for an off season. So I took a year and a half off just to build and grow, like 2018 the rest of 2017 and going into 2018 I took off, and I just started building, started lifting heavy, just kind of gained some state. Like, I wasn't stage lean anymore. I gained probably like 10 or 15 pounds during that off season, but put on some good size. And then I got my boobs done. So that will probably be another video, but I did get my boobs done. So it just happened like pretty perfect. I had just graduated college in 2018, the summer of 2018 in May. And I had my position for my full-time job wasn't gonna start until July. So I had like this window of like 6 or 8 weeks before I would start my full-time job. And I had just signed my contract to have my full-time job, where they gave me a sign-on bonus, and it was enough to be able to cover getting some titties. And I always told myself since I was like 12 years old, the second I have money to get my boobs done, I'm doing it. And I finally had the money to do it. So I booked an appointment, and I went and I got my boobs done, and I started my full-time job after that. And that was in between my off season from my second show to my third show. My first show of the season for I took 2018 all off. I didn't compete until 2019. Yeah, last show, sorry. It's hard, prep brain and stuff, and like you forget, because like, I don't know. Yeah, so I took off, and I was working night shift in the warehouse, and then I started prepping again for the next show. I wanted to come back to the first show that I did at the very beginning, and so I was going to return. My plan in my head was return to the first show that you did because you had such a good experience there, and try to get the overall. So I was going to go back to Midway USA in Wichita with my boobs done, was going to be bigger. I just had the year of an off season, was going to come in like super strategic and like see where I would measure up. And it was probably the best package I had ever had at the time. And you know, I had my tits done, so I was really confident. Got a new suit. I went with aqua, loved the aqua suit, and didn't peak well because I was on night shift. I switched so much during my peak week. I wish I had not, because I was looking extremely lean like a week or two before I stepped on stage, but I had took off. So normally you compete on Saturdays and like go to the show like on Friday night and check in for amateur shows. So I had actually took off Wednesday from work since I work night shift. So I was so used to sleeping in the day, I flipped my schedule before I would compete on Saturday so I could get better sleep, and that just like didn't work in my favor. I was holding a lot of water, and like my meals were off, and it just like didn't really come together as tight as I wanted on stage. Like I just felt like I looked so flat on stage, but I looked really good. Like my hair and makeup were on point, the suit is on point, but just like my body, it didn't look the best. I just looked not conditioned. So I just needed some better abs, just wanted to look leaner and like not holding water. So I ended up getting second, and there was only 4 girls in my class. And I was really upset, like really upset about it. I didn't even take a picture with my second place medal after I got off stage. I just wanted to go eat, and I was like very upset because, you know, you just put in so much work, and like having the mindset of like, I'm gonna try to get the overall and then kind of like, I don't know, get second place. But I felt like I deserved it. Not saying that like it's nothing on the judges, it's just, you know, it's hard not to take placing personally because you're so emotional at that time in prep that you're not thinking logically. Like now thinking about it, I'm really like upset with myself that I never took pictures with my medal after, just because there's girls that are not getting medals that, I don't know, I just didn't handle it very well. And so, you live and you learn. After that show, getting second place, so that would have been May of 2019, I wasn't done. I'm like, my season's not over. Like, I feel like I can do better. Like, I'm not done. So we decided to keep kind of going, and then I was gonna compete. I think our original plan was to do August for some type of show, but then it just didn't work out. And so eventually I came across a show in September to give myself a little bit more time to cut, and I was gonna do the Arkansas something. It's called the Arkansas, can't remember it, but if I remember it, I'll put it right here. Arkansas something. I literally can't remember, but the Arkansas something. It was gonna be in Arkansas, so it was NPC. I can't remember. I literally can't remember. I cannot believe I can't remember. I'm just having like a brain fart right now. But so I went to that show. I got a new suit. I got my green suit, which I really liked. I was the leanest I've probably ever been. The best conditioning I've ever had. My makeup was on point. My hair was on point. I was so confident in that show. Like, I'm like, all right, like this package is going to kill it. I had increased cardio. We dropped my calories lowest than they've ever been. I was really hungry, and I just felt like I was pushing really hard for that show. And then after the show, I had planned a vacation to Florida. So me and my boyfriend were gonna I was gonna compete on Saturday, and then on Sunday we're gonna fly and have a week in Florida. So I was actually putting a lot of time and energy into my vacation, which now looking back at it, our vacation was once in a lifetime, and I'm so happy that we did it. But I just probably would have gone about it differently, and I'll tell you why right now. So what happened with the Arkansas show is I did not place. I seriously did not place, and I, again, was really upset because you just spend so much time and money prepping, and you just, the entire time while you're prepping, you don't believe that you're not gonna get first place. You seriously don't believe that you're not gonna get first call-outs. At any time when I was prepping, was like, this is the first call out physique, and I'm trying to give the judges the feedback that they gave me, and like, I'm ready. So getting second call outs, while it is still an accomplishment, is not my goal. I always want to get first call outs, but it happened, and I'm very glad it did, because this prep that I'm in right now, I'm literally pushing so hard because I never ever want to have the feeling of getting second call outs. So it's probably the best thing that the judges could have done for me. They gave me some good feedback, and now I'm like, maybe I didn't push as hard, maybe I didn't cut right, like maybe I skipped out on some cardio, like maybe I'm lying to myself that I deserved first place. Like, I think I deserved second calls, if not third, by the way. Yeah, so like now it's like balls to the wall, not cheating on a single second of cardio, forcing myself to actually push hard, weeks and weeks out, not even close to it, like trying to go the extra mile every single day on your diet, like just doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, but I got second call outs, and I knew that in prejudging because they didn't call my number for top 5 in prejudging. So that, again, you learn, you live and you learn. It was very different. So I did what you're not supposed to do. I went and had a cheat meal. I went and had sushi because I was just so hungry in between prejudging and finals, because I knew I wasn't gonna place. And I just, I didn't go overboard. I had some sushi, and that was really it. I just needed something to eat. So I had some sushi, and I knew like I didn't necessarily have to like really worry about coming in super tight, because I wasn't gonna place. And that's not how you want to do it, because anything can change. So don't do what I did. Stay on your diet. Just that one day you can have your cheat meal after the show is done, and it's just disrespectful to the show if you come in and like your gut's sticking out, and like it wasn't. I was still holding it in, trying to keep it as tight as possible, but it's just disrespectful. Like, you're not done competing until the end, even if you don't get to like do your individual presentations at finals. Like, finals, the only top 5 you have to do their individual presentations, and then you would do, I think we just got to go on stage, they announced our name, and then I think we did our individual routine, maybe. I can't remember, but yeah, so they just announced, everyone was like, here's the class, then they sent it off to the side and took all the top 5 out. But It really made me be a better competitor, learning how to lose, okay? So I saw success early on in my career, like early on, first show, getting first call-outs, getting first place at your first show is kind of like not a good thing. I really wish I would have progressively worked up, like not place, then place a little bit better, then place a little bit, that's like progressively get better. But my placing has kind of like been all over because who's shown up has been different every single time. I've competed all in different types of shows. I did 2 of the same shows, but different girls came. I competed in an Arkansas show and a Florida show. So like the clientele and the judges was all different. So I'm not really sure exactly where I'm gonna stack up for this next show, but learning to lose. So learning to get second call outs and trying to like understand like what that meant for me. I'm like, should I quit? Like I literally thought, I'm like, maybe I'm not good enough. Like I'm progressively got first, then I got 7th, then I got 2nd. Now I'm getting a second call. It's like, I feel like I should be doing better than this, right? I'm putting in more time. I feel like I should be on the up, and I'm going the opposite way. Maybe this sport isn't for me anymore. Maybe like I just suck and like I'm not what the judges want anymore. But that's like not the case at all. I just had to learn to lose. Like they gave me such good feedback. So after, I was like, I need to ask the judges what happened, because I'm not exactly sure if I'm even doing, like maybe I'm doing something that they don't want. I don't know. So I emailed them all, and their feedback has literally given me life. So thank you, judges who I've contacted about feedback. They were like, you're so close. You just need to bring in conditioning a little bit tighter. We want to see bigger hamstrings and quads on you. We want you to lean out the legs a little bit so we can see those tie-ins and your glutes. Just like keep everything nice and full. It was like pretty much like don't change anything. Don't get super big in the upper body. Keep working on those shoulders, and then bring in your abs. So like you have to have abs. You need to come in leaner, tighter waist. And if you just tweak your legs, get a little bit fuller, like bring your legs in a little bit fuller but still more lean, you're gonna be right there. And like we're gonna see you, if like I think someone was like, we're gonna see, like I hope to see you get some trophies next year. Or like they're like, you have the look. There was nothing about look or posing. It was just like strictly physique things and like small little tweaks. So they were like, yeah, you're on the right path. Everything was really positive. So I really do appreciate the judges taking time, because that has made the difference from someone. Like I really hope you guys reach out for feedback to the judges, because they're not gonna just rip you apart and be like, yeah, you're fat and you suck and you should quit, because you're never gonna be anyone. But they were just very positive and encouraging. So that's really helped me and gave me a focus for this next prep. So now I switched coaches and I'm with Team Elite Physique, and we're working towards nationals. So I have been nationally qualified. So getting second place for Midway USA Championships in May meant that I was nationally qualified in the 2019 for the entire 2020 season. So I will be going to Las Vegas to compete at USA's for nationals, and just kind of taking my physique to the next level to see where I stack up against other girls who have won local shows. So that I'm going to be competing against girls across the entire country. Yes, so that is kind of like my journey to pro, or not to pro. So that is my journey to, this is my journey into bodybuilding. And again, like if you're struggling with something, like always feel free to reach out. Like I know what it's like to like lose a sibling, and just to kind of deal with that on a daily basis. Something that I still deal with, but I'm just kind of more quiet and about it to myself, just because I don't want it to take over my life. I compete for him, for my brother. Like I know every single show, like he's still in the audience watching, and so that's why it's kind of like a surreal experience, because I just imagine that and just like how excited he would be for me if I like did really well. And just the entire prep, I'm just like fueled by like, you have to keep going. Like this isn't for you. Like you can't stop, because you're inspiring so many other people. And maybe like you're gonna use this platform one day to change someone's life who maybe, if they didn't hear you or see like even like an Instagram video or a YouTube video, you're gonna be able to change their lives. And that's like, you have to keep going for that. Like you have to keep going, because there's this possibility of being able to change lives through fitness and health. So that is kind of like a little bit about my journey. I know it's a little bit emotional and like sad and like not like funny like you're used to, but I hope you guys really enjoyed kind of like seeing, you know, the real me, the raw me, you know. But that was my journey to the stage, and just like in between, it's just competing. I highly encourage you to do it because it has taught me so much about myself. It's taught me how to be disciplined, how to push through hard days. There's days when I want to quit, I want to give up, but I still make it into the gym and I keep pursuing my goals. It's taught me how to be confident. It's taught me how to take, you know, life is gonna throw you some fucking doozies, and it's just how you respond to it. You can let little things get you down, or you can just have a positive attitude and outlook about everything that you do in life, and that's how you should live it every single day. And every single day should not ever be a challenge or a battle or a struggle to go to the gym. And oh my god, I don't want to go to the gym. Like, I rarely ever say I don't want to go to the gym. Like, rarely ever, because I feel my best when I'm working out, when I'm working on my health, when I'm working on my fitness. Like, I literally don't think I've ever felt more happy and okay with myself than I have when I found fitness. Like, fitness Sav, she's confident, she's happy, she's energetic, she's inspiring and motivating. Non-fitness Sav is just terrible. Like, what? She's just like unconfident, complains, not a cool person to be around. Like, fitness Sav is someone that everyone wants to be around. I don't know. But that is kind of, I know it's a long video, so if you did watch it all the way to here, like, I appreciate you so much. I hope you subscribe. It was a little bit of a different video. I'm gonna talk about different topics too, but that is my journey. And I will hopefully see you guys all next week. For any video ideas, please let me know. I need to know what you guys want to watch. And otherwise, that is all that I have for you today. So I appreciate you guys listening to me rants. I know, like, I went on a lot of rants, but that is what I wanted to talk about. I just feel like I was put on this earth to do fitness. And I know that sounds stupid, and I know that is just, I don't know, some of you might just be like, that's ridiculous, but I seriously do feel like I found my passion, and I feel at peace when I do fitness. And I really enjoy like helping others like improve themselves. And when people send me a message like I inspire them, that seriously is the best feeling I could ever have. It just like inspires me to keep going. So, you know, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm not done. And so I have this huge goal of going pro. I just want to go pro so bad. I don't know why, but I think that that platform that you get when more eyes are on you, more people want to know and about your journey. And I just feel like I can relate to so many people that have lost someone or that are struggling. But if you're struggling with like suicide, or you've lost someone to suicide, like, it's okay, it's gonna get better. It took me a long time to be able to kind of live my life without having to constantly think about it. It's a beautiful thing when you put your, like, every single day I'm able to do something that I'm passionate about, and that's the best feeling in the world. So I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Thank you guys for watching. I know I'm gonna be posting this video on Super Bowl Sunday, so I understand if you're busy drinking and partying and all that, but if you could watch it, I would appreciate you. And the last thing that I want to say is make sure that so I just hope everyone knows, like, if you're struggling with something, like, you can always reach out to me, to anyone, to a friend, to a family member, especially when it comes to suicide. So this is Suicide Hotline. You can always direct message me on Instagram. You can comment below if you ever need help or know someone is struggling. I just know that this is such a big topic, especially for young people. And in the fitness industry, I think people see these hard bodies, and it could make someone depressed because they don't have that, or they think those goals are unattainable. But I'm here to tell you that you do have a goal, you can literally do anything that you set your mind to. If you are struggling, there is always someone to listen to you, no matter what you're struggling through. You can always get through it. It's always going to be better. But the last thing that you would ever want to do if you are struggling with suicide or suicidal thoughts is take the opportunity for having a future or for it to get better away from yourself. Because right now you may be at rock bottom. You might be in the worst point of your life and you might think that it could never, ever, ever, ever get better. But it could. But if you take that away from yourself, you will never know. So I just really hope that you think about your future children, and just know that it's just not really like an option. I just want everyone to understand that you are wanted and you have someone that wants you here. And I appreciate you and I love you and someone loves you, and it's worth it to be alive. And every single day I am blessed to be alive. And yeah, so I just felt like I needed to say that, because it's something that I deal with every single day. It's something that multiple people deal with every single day. It's multiple families deal with every single day. And it needs to get talked about, because if we don't talk about it, it's just, no one knows. Like, no one knows if you're struggling. Like, if we don't talk about this kind of stuff, then no one can help each other. So I just feel like I needed to get my message out there to my peeps. YouTube is the best way to do that. So if you're listening to me and you like what I said, make sure you give it a thumbs up, okay? I know this video wasn't as fun or funny or whatever, but it just gives you a reality of like what competing is. Competing isn't just sparkly bikinis and, you know, rock hard abs and like protein powder. Like, this is something that goes deep into my soul and my DNA. And it's just, I feel so good competing. Like, it is the best feeling to be able to wake up and be like, you know what? I feel healthy. Like, I feel healthy. Like I'm not sad. I'm happy. I'm just living life, you know? So it's a blessing to be able to work out. So if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I need some new video ideas for next week. Other than that, I am out. See you next week.